Can you believe the amount of yarn balls that I have attached to my work? There are a lot of ends to weave it. Always stresses me out. I think I'm too confused. I was not about to unravel these rows. Design that I chose for the 2022 Fall Knit Collage Make-Along. I love it so much. I am obsessed with the color. I am obsessed with the cables, and y'all, I am not a cable person. I have to say it was a little tricky with the intarsia and also with the sleeves, but you'll see that as we go on in the video. But I take you through every step of making this sweater, and I hope you guys enjoy it. This is the Winding Road Cardi designed by Cheryl Kubat, and it is an absolutely gorgeous pattern. Amy always sends out a survey to find out what are the top choices for the make-along, and the one that I voted for didn't even make it into the bonus patterns. It didn't make it into the main patterns or the bonus patterns. I'm honestly so glad that the one that I voted for didn't make it, because otherwise I wouldn't have chosen this one, and I absolutely love it, and I am just so excited to wear it all the time. It truly is such a beautiful sweater. I cannot wait to share all of the details with you. I hope you guys enjoy. Excited because today is cast on day. I cannot wait. I have been dying. I've had this Knit Collage yarn balled up into balls for quite a while now, and I cannot wait to get started. I have a feeling that this cardigan is not going to take me very long because I'm super excited to get it finished. I've got my very chic project bag here. I have pretty much used up all my project bags. They have some sort of project in them, so... Oh, can you hear my cat? This is the box that it came in, and so I just decided to go with that. I may switch it over to a project bag later if I free up some space. This yarn is so gorgeous. I love it so much. This is the Spun Cloud yarn in Breezy Blue. And it is just the most beautiful shade. Excuse my cat. He really wants me to feed him, just reminding me that he's waiting for food. I'm super excited to get going on these cables. I have all these amazing yarns to choose from. I cannot wait to decide how I want these cables to go. I haven't done a whole lot of cables before, so definitely have to give myself a refresher on that, but I cannot wait. So let's go ahead and start. So here's the setup that I have for my colors. I kind of drew it out on paper before to decide how I wanted it. I didn't want to make too many balls of yarn for my main color or cut the yarn too many times, and I didn't have a scale, so I just went ahead and divided each of the large balls of yarn into halves. And then of course I have my mini skein sampler that has the contrast colors. This is the daisy chain, and then another Spun Cloud, and I believe dusty mauve is the color, and then wildflower yarn. And I think I'm happy with the colors. We'll have to see as we put the sleeves together and then the front, but I think I'm happy with the way the colors are laid out. on day 4 now, and this is the progress. Y'all, can you believe the amount of yarn balls that I have attached to my work? I think this is a record for me. I have done intarsia before, but I have literally never had this many balls of yarn attached to my project at once. I believe I'm about to join a lot of these balls, so that will be good. So I've done the left front and the right front. I've done the neck hole shaping and the armhole shaping, and now I'm ready to join everything together. So I'm super excited about that. It is fun to work with all of these different yarns at once, but it's a little bit hard to have them all attached. And y'all, I just do not like stopping every few minutes to untangle my yarn. So I just kind of go until it gets so tangled that I really need to untangle it, as you saw in the previous clip. I'm hoping that it will go really, really fast after I join everything together. The pattern did call for a continuous line here from the back to the front, but I just wanted to use more of the colors because I just love all this yarn so much. So I went ahead and just used a new contrast color here. So I'm gonna have a different one for the back and the front. I just wanted to use as many of the colors as possible. What I did was choose a color that was similar to the color that was on the back. I mean, this one of course is a little bit different, but it was the closest with like the different colors and things. So I went ahead and chose this one for the front. And then this Dreamland over here, which y'all I'm obsessed with. This neon, oh my goodness. Y'all know I love me some neon. So this one has this orange neon right here, and then the daisy chain has that little thread of yellow green neon, which I love so much. For the sleeves, I haven't decided 100% yet what colors I want, but I'm excited to figure that out. We'll see if this thing fits.
I'm so sorry.
Shoot, I can't get it off. It's day 6 and I just wanted to give you a little progress report. I'm pretty sure finished the body of my sweater. I'm very excited. I'm hoping that it fits because I tried it on and it's definitely more snug than I usually go. I usually like an oversized fit with my sweaters, so this one is another kind of fitted. I went with the size 1, which is definitely smaller than I usually go for, but I really thought I liked the fitted version better, even though I really love both versions, and I may make the bulkier version later. But for this one, I decided to make just the size 1. So I have finished the body of the sweater and now I'm ready for the ribbing. So I can cut some of these yarn strands here, which always stresses me out, but I'm actually very excited to not have so many yarn strands attached to my project. I'm always stressed to cut this yarn because y'all know this is like some super special yarn, but I am very excited to get going, and then I will be starting on the sleeves. So let's do some ribbing. I'm so excited. It's day 7 and I am ready to start on the sleeves. This is what it's looking like so far. I got finished with the edging last night. I did the buttonhole edging, and I'm gonna add buttons, of course, later. I haven't decided exactly what buttons I want to use yet, but this is what it's looking like. I'm very excited. There are a lot of ends to weave it. I'm still deciding on what contrast colors I want for the sleeves. I'm not sure yet exactly. More to come on that, but I'm super excited to get started on the sleeves. Sorry for how orange this is. It is the end of the day and there's like no light left. But I think what I'm gonna do is just felt these balls of yarn together so it's one continuous ball. I did decide on the contrast colors for my sleeves, and so I'm gonna go with the daisy chain, and then I think it's the sister yarn, I believe is what it's called. Is it the sister yarn? Oh, it's castaway. Maybe it's the castaway. I think that's what it is. Castaway yarn. I'm going to use both of these for the sleeve. So let's get to felting. A few rounds, and this is the first part of the pattern that I've been a little bit confused on. I keep reading it and rereading it thinking that I can figure it out, and I'm sure I will be able to. I'm just kind of having a little bit of a moment. But I did place a marker here where I started this part of the pattern so that I wouldn't have to go back and redo the whole sleeve and all the German short rows. I don't know, I'm just not like seeing it in my mind. I'm definitely gonna have to go back a couple of rows and see if I can figure this out. So I'll keep you posted. I hope I did that right. Never worked a sleeve this way before, so I don't know. I'm really trying to figure this out. I prefer to, especially in situations like this, to take my work out a stitch at a time, because I feel like if I took all my needles out and unraveled, sometimes it just really confuses me. So this is how I find it to be easier for me to figure out as I drop the needle off the stitches. I do have to say, after I figure this out, I'll be glad to learn a new way to work the sleeve. I'm just having to go by the written pattern, which of course is written wonderfully, but sometimes, and I'm sure you guys can relate, let me know down below if you can, but sometimes like when you write things down, it's hard to visualize it. For me, I'm such a visual learner. Sometimes if I read it, I have to read it several times to figure it out. It doesn't always compute unless I see it, or if I work the stitch, like I can't read it first and then go do it. Like I have to work it through it as I'm reading it. So we'll see. Well, y'all, even though I put this marker here, I think I'm gonna end up taking out the whole sleeve. So time to frog. Can we just admire though this fun little puff of the sleeve? I do love that. I'm very excited when I finally figure out how to do the sleeve. Okay, y'all, it's the next day and we have a sleeve. Yay! Okay, so this sleeve definitely took me a while to figure out. I went back to the pattern notes and then remembered that there was a video link, which I did watch, but didn't really have to use until the sleeve. And so even after watching the video, it took me forever to really get a hold of it, but I finally got it, and oh my goodness, here is the sleeve. It is finished. I'm very excited about it. I do have to say that the sleeve has been my least favorite part, and not just because it was hard to figure out, but it's just really fiddly. And so of course I love this sweater, and I'm super excited about it, and I love the way that it looks, but this sleeve was quite frustrating at times. But I'm so glad I have it finished now, and I'm very excited to get going on the other sleeve. I did kind of mess up because it was so fiddly. I messed up a little bit with the yarns here, so I don't know if you can tell, but it's like a little bit tighter right here. So I may try to fix that when I block it. But yeah, I'm super excited to report that I finally finished the sleeve and finally figured it out. And hopefully it is encouraging that just if you reread it, rewatch it, all the things, eventually you will get it. You just have to keep going and don't give up, which I know that's easier said than done a lot of times. This sleeve, for real, like I just could not, even after watching the video, I was not understanding it. But thankfully it finally clicked. And so I'm excited to get going on the other sleeve. You guys, can you even with this detail? I love it. I love these daisies. That's one of my favorite things. See if we can find some buttons for this sweater. The little flower detail on them, but I'm not 100% sure. I also thought about doing a mixture, like a combination of all different buttons. So I'm just gonna have to lay them on here and see. I just didn't want to have to go back, and so I grabbed a bunch of buttons and figured I could use them in the future for other projects. So let's see which ones we like the most. Okay, I think I'm pretty positive that I do not want this one. For some reason I was going for gold, but then I remembered that there was silver here in this Dreamland yarn right here, which I think that this like antique gold would be okay, but I'm still not sure if I want to use that either. This one I think is super cute. I just don't know if I love these silver ones either. I feel like they're just, I don't know, it's not really the look I'm going for. Let's go ahead and take these off of the card and see when we place them on here. I also have these, which I really like, kind of the off-white shade. I also like that it's a little bit bigger. Try this one. Okay, I really like these two together. I think that this might be too small. I'm thinking that I want something a little bit bigger, even though I really love that flower on there. But I just don't think, and I think it's a little bit too white. So I think I'm gonna go maybe with a couple of these right here. I think it's 4 buttons that I need, I'm pretty sure. So I may do kind of an every other one, possibly this one. Okay, y'all, I think this is my final decision. I'm really glad that I got all those buttons, because the ones that I had originally planned, which were the ones with the little flowers, I just figured were too small. So I kind of went with this eclectic mix of buttons. I did wonder if I wanted to flip this one over just to make them all different, but I just really liked this pearl finish, and so I decided to keep that one that way and just have alternating buttons, and I think that I'm really happy with it. I did find some wooden buttons that I had on hand that I didn't realize that I had. I mean, I knew I had a couple wooden buttons, but I didn't realize I had this many. I may swap one out, but I think I might stick with what I've got. y'all, we have our first button on here. I think that it is super cute. And so I'm gonna go ahead with the other buttons. So here is my finished sweater, you guys. I am so excited about it. I love it so much. These are the buttons as they are all finished. I just could not be happier with the way this turned out. I absolutely love it. I love the color. It's a color that's really unique to me and I haven't used it before, but I absolutely love it. It's like this periwinkle. It's just so gorgeous. It's that breezy blue in the spun cloud yarn and it is just so gorgeous. And honestly, y'all, I do have my favorite colors, as some of you may already know, neons and bright colors and just funky color combinations. But I think as I make more and more finished items, I just absolutely love to try new color combinations, to try colors that I'm not really always drawn to. Just like the spring make along with my Winding Road Cardi, I absolutely love trying new color combinations. I was able to use colors that I had never used before in the daisy chain and in the spun cloud and in the Dreamland yarn. This was just such a fun project. It's so funny, I think I say this every time, but this is definitely one of my favorites. I can't decide, I don't know, I just love them all in their own way. The Winding Road Cardi is just such a great like throw on piece that I can wear with anything. And then the plaid party cardi is such a special and unique cardigan. And then this one I feel like I'm gonna wear all the time too. It's so warm and so cozy. I love that it's more fitted. I usually go for a more oversized look, as you guys probably know, but I absolutely loved the picture of the model in her cardigan all buttoned up like a shirt. I loved it so much, and so that was what I wanted to make. As I mentioned earlier in the video, I made the size 1, which is normally not the size that I make. I usually make the size 2. I would sometimes choose even larger, but of course that requires more yarn and more cost, so I usually choose the size 2, but this time I did the size 1. I was excited because I wanted to make something a little more fitted, but also I wanted to have extra yarn left over to make something else with it. So I do have a little bit left over and I'm very excited about that, and I'm very happy with the size that I chose. So I'll go ahead and tell you the measurements of their size 1 and then how my cardigan turned out. So their chest and body circumference measurement was 35.5 and mine is right around 36, so it's very similar, and that could have come out in blocking a little bit. I just lightly steam blocked it. I don't have a steamer, I just have my iron, and so normally when I block things I just wet block them, but I really wanted to get this video done quickly and out for you guys, so I just steam blocked it a little bit. I really didn't adjust a whole lot. I really truly do love the fit, so I'm very excited with how it turned out. The extra ½ inch I think is good for me as well, because sometimes it could like pull a little bit here with the button, so I think that that gives me a little bit extra room here in the bust. So the measurement from the underarm to the bottom of the sweater, their measurement was 14.5 and mine was 12.5, so mine's a little bit shorter, and honestly I could even make it a little bit shorter. I really love crop things, so I can wear them with high-waisted pants, and so I wouldn't have even minded making it a little bit shorter, but honestly I'm very happy with the length. So that was about a 2-inch difference there, and then the sleeves are the major difference. Now their sleeve measurement is 17 and mine is 23. Y'all, apparently I have some really long arms. I knew that I made the sleeves longer, and if you remember, the sleeves were not the most fun part of the sweater, but I kept trying it on. I love a long sleeve to where it's cozy and just kind of over your wrist a little bit, even with the length on this. And I could probably still make it a little bit longer with blocking, like wet blocking, but I do love the way that they turned out. I think they're absolutely perfect right here at my wrist, and these sleeves are a lot more snug than I usually have, but they just fit perfectly. Like they really are great. So I thought that was kind of funny and interesting that mine were so much longer than the finished measurement. So those are the comparisons between their finished sweater measurements and mine in the size 1. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this journey of my Winding Road Cardi. I hope you enjoyed seeing it from start to finish. Let me know. I videoed a lot more of the process of making this sweater than I have for previous finished projects, so let me know in the comments below if that's something you enjoy. I appreciate you guys watching so much. I can't believe this is the final video of 2022. I hope you guys have a happy and safe new year, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks again for watching.